I think people get tattooed because, there's not a lot of real stuff left in the world, and it's all like a 24-hour news cycle. Nothing lasts. With tattooing, it's blood, it's pain, it's permanence. When you get that needle in your skin for the first time, you have to be there. You can't just call it in. You have to sit there and take the pain, and then sit there and heal it, and then you got to live with the consequences of your action.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the East West Podcast with your host, Horisumi. Been a couple of weeks since I've done a show. I was away in Thailand with my family on a little holiday after my surgery, and just getting back into work and all that stuff. So I'll do a little quick video today. One of the things I've noticed, for years now, but really has come to my attention in the last couple of months, is the amount of tattooers that don't actually understand the theory of tattooing, of what tattooing is, right? And this is a problem in the sense that there's lots of tattooers, more tattooers now than there's ever been in the history of the world, right? You got all the different styles, and there's fantastic tattooing on. Again, this isn't a negative thing, but this is so many tattooers have sprung up, especially post-COVID, learning from YouTube videos and tattoo schools and figuring it out on their own, which is, it is what it is, right? Not ideal though, right? Because there's so much stuff that you can learn from, on your own, but actually understanding tattoo theory, and I don't mean artistic theory, I mean actual tattoo theory, that people, and there's artists that have come through here as well, and I see around other places, and and just seeing how many tattoo shops there are in Thailand, not understanding how tattoos work, right? Not building a tattoo for longevity. Like for me, my whole thing is I build tattoos to last. I want my tattoos to look good. I had a guy in here yesterday, right? I did some lettering on him 15 years ago on the insides of his arms, right? His kids' names, 15 years ago. Just black lettering, not even fine line. It was like just a thin line with some shading and a drop shadow. It looked like it was done last year. It's fucking awesome, right? And and that's from understanding tattoo theory, right? And I got back pieces that I'm working on the sleeves now, back pieces I finished 10 years ago. They come in and the people are blown away, like, how old's that back piece? Like, oh, it's like 10 years old. And holy shit, looks like it was just done, right? Because that's understanding theory. It's understanding how your ink works, how your needles interact with the skin. There's so much more to tattooing than just creating your design on an iPad and applicating it. And like I said in a podcast recently, so many, and this is, again, I'm making this video to fucking educate, right? This isn't about shitting on people or putting myself on some fucking high horse, right? It's just to educate customer and artist that there is another level to this shit, right? You're not just applicating a fucking picture on somebody, right? You need to understand what you're fucking doing and how long what you're doing is going to last, right? It's like if you're a t-shirt printer and you're screen printing, right? Making a t-shirt, but you don't really understand what the fuck you're doing. And the shirt looks good, right? You make the shirt, you give 100 shirts to the client, right? 3 washes, it's faded, it's cracked, it's peeled off. That's fucking shit, right? Tattooing is no different, right? Yeah, most tattoos walk out of the shop looking good, right? Because they're fresh. But how is that ink settling in the skin? How is that healing up? How is that longevity? How much pigment did you actually put in the skin? How much of it's going to fall off during healing? How much is going to be absorbed by the body? These are all things to take into consideration, right? How's that line going to hold up? Did you use triple black fucking tribal ink to outline your tattoo so it's super black and then it's all going to blur out into a fucking mess in 6 months, right? Because that's happening too. Right? People that don't understand what the fuck they're doing. And I want to help you understand. You need to understand how the needle interacts with the skin and what's actually going on, right? And so understanding the right needle type for what you're doing. One of the issues I've come across is guys that do black and gray a lot, and then, you know, take on a couple of color pieces, right? And they're using the same setups, right? They're using the same needle groups, the same needle types, to put color in the same machine settings, the same machines, as they are for soft black and gray to put in solid color. And it just doesn't fucking work, right? That tattoo will fall out, right? And especially one of the things I've noticed too, and look, the way I'm going to teach you how to do things properly is tell you what not to do, okay? Small bottles of ink like this, if you're a black and gray guy, small bottles of ink that you rarely fucking use, very hard to agitate, very hard to shake, right? So all that pigment load's going to go to the bottom. You're going to try and shake it a few times. You're going to tattoo with it, and you're literally tattooing with pigment juice. The pigment's not in there. It's all at the bottom, stuck to the bottom of the bottle, right? You're just tattooing with ink juice. And, you know, your tattoo's going to look okay, right? Because it's going to have color and stuff, but all that's going to fall out. None of that's going to fucking stay, right? Something to take into consideration, right? You need to agitate your ink bottles. You need to put marbles or ball bearings in them. You know, if you're doing black and gray, you need to have proper needles for doing color, right? You need to have straight magnums. You need to have a thicker fucking diameter needle with a more, you know, robust point on it, not a super fine. Super fine line needles are no good for doing color. Something you need to consider, right? You know, and this is one of the things that's, you know, you don't learn this stuff on fucking YouTube, right? Apart from now. And you're not going to learn this in your fucking 6-week tattoo school course or whatever the fuck you're doing, right? Most of the stuff online that I've seen is focused on the art, right? Which is great. There's some really good fucking artists out there sharing their knowledge and helping people learn how to do tattoos better. And that's cool. But unless you can make the tattoo fucking last, the whole point of a tattoo is that it lasts forever and looks good forever, right? Just like I'm saying with t-shirt designs or painting a car or any craft like that, the longevity is what you're selling, right? The longevity is what you're creating, right? So there's no point making something beautiful if it turns to shit after a short period of time, right? You know, and this is why I say I focus on that with my work. You know, I'm not the most, my work, my artwork is very traditional, very simple, you know, very bold. And I try to keep it all within the same sort of style, right? I don't color outside the lines. I don't go crazy with my dragon heads. I don't go crazy with stuff. I like to keep it just my certain aesthetic that I like, but it lasts forever. It's solid. The color is bright, right? And that's what matters for me. That's what I care about, right? You'll see in the color realism sort of sphere, a lot of that stuff looks good for the photo. And there's guys out there that can make that stuff last, but a lot of them can't. You know, and those tattoos don't fucking last. You're blending all these colors, watered down inks, blending them all together. They don't fucking last. Even Japanese stuff, man. I've got stuff on me that one pass with the liner, smash the color in, you know, it looks old real quick, right? And that, no one likes that. You want your tattoos to look solid and bright and have that wow factor, right? And that's what I think more people need to focus on. You know, like I'm not here to teach you how to tattoo. I'm just telling you there's shit you don't know that you need to know, right? And, you know, I share that with the guys that I work with. I'm happy to mentor people that work here. I've got guest artists. I got a couple guest artists here from, I got a guy from Argentina. I got a girl from Spain, a girl from Italy, you know, and they're hungry. And that's nice to have guests come through here that are hungry for knowledge, that want to learn. Because that's how I learned, right? I mean, I didn't do a formal apprenticeship. I've told you guys that. I traveled, worked a few years in a street shop. I went and traveled. I found people I wanted to work with, like big name artists at the time whose work I really liked. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go work for that guy. I'm going to go find a way to work for that guy. And I go work for them for a few weeks or a month or 3 months, you know, and absorb as much as I can and pick their brains and then go off and do it with someone else. And I did this for fucking years and years I did this. And figured a lot of stuff out and got taught a lot of stuff and had access to this information. And now, you know, that type of learning, while still happening, seems less. Less people don't realize what they don't know, right? And so I think it's important, you know, to know what you don't know, right? If your tattoos aren't coming back looking good, where you're getting feedback that, you know, they're not aging properly, you need to adjust what you're doing, right? You need to learn. And there's so much ego and preciousness in art, not just tattooing, in all art, right? I mean, one of my problems when I was learning was this fucking ego, right? You can fucking tell me anything, right? I'm fucking awesome. And then that all changed. You know, Gregory broke that out of me, destroy the ego, and that's when I really started to learn and really started to be able to develop myself. And that's what's needed, right? So listen, if you want to come and guest spot at the shop, if you want to learn and you're hungry, send me a DM, right? We're always taking guests. I'm happy to mentor people. I'm not going to put it on YouTube, you know, A, B, and C of how to do this, but I'll give you the hints, right? Is you need to understand the theory of why tattoos last and how to make them last, right? Because everyone likes to see a good tattoo last forever. That's the most important thing. And as a client, you know, prospective clients, you want your tattoos to last, right? You want to go look around. If you want to get tattooed by this guy, go try and find some of his customers. Or if you see someone in the street, at the bar, the barista, the hairdresser, or whatever, and the tattoo looks fucking good, who did that? How old's your tattoo, right? How did it heal? These are questions to ask to find yourself a good artist, right? Instagram, as much as I use it, and it's a tool, and it's a gallery platform, you know, it doesn't show you the truth, right? It doesn't show you that aged tattoo. Most tattoo photos on Instagram are fresh, right? So you need to see the tattoo in real life or get some feedback from someone who's been tattooed, right? That's the important thing, right? So I'm happy to take people on. I know Australia's a far ways away, but we're always taking guests, and I do like to mentor people that are hungry. I want to give back and sort of put people on the right path. You know, it's good when people ask questions. I like to help, right? So something to consider. Obviously, you know, send me a DM. I'll look at your portfolio and make sure we're compatible and all that kind of thing, right? But yeah, so it's something to consider. All right, guys. And look, if you do have some specific questions, you can DM me, and I'll help you the best I can. All right. So that's my little pep talk for today. All right. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.